Afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me today for a very, very special talk. My name is Reyna Rupani, and I'm from Team SHARAN. And today, the reason we are facing climate change or facing any dis-ease in our body is because we are disconnected from nature. And SHARAN's attempt is to reconnect us back to nature, to our own nature, and to the mother nature as well. And that's why this talk is so very important, because I'm sure all of you are feeling the effect of climate change. So the earth is facing a challenge. The only planet that we know that we can live on. I don't think there's any other planet that we can actually live on. And she's trying to scream out at us since years. Okay. And now it's even becoming more and more rampant, because if you see the news, there's literally an earthquake every second day somewhere on the planet. And it was recently in Afghanistan as well. And we felt the ripples in Delhi and Rajasthan. So it's getting closer and closer, and it's happening all over the world. COVID was another wake-up call, all right? And things got very nice when man was put inside, but now we're back out, and she needs to wake us up. We've had forest fires, blizzards, tsunamis, lots and lots of natural disasters happening very, very frequently. And there is some sort of a massive um, deaths which are happening. Like you just heard about this Orissa train wreck. Massively, there is some type of awakening that is required. Blizzards, we've had these attacks, various natural disasters, which are much, much more than they used to be earlier. So what is Mother Earth doing? Mother Earth is actually asking for our help. And yes, we are aware of climate change, and we know that we have to plant trees, and we have to reuse and reduce and recycle, and we have to get into waste management and, say no to plastic, use renewable resources, use cycles. We know all this, and we've been doing it. It's not that we have not been doing it. Then still, why is the climate still heating up? Why is the climate still heating up? Okay. There are some other things that we need to do. Something is missing. Some part of the puzzle is not being talked about. And that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. The real reason, the actual reason for climate change. Now let's start thinking about this. All right. So the first Earth Day was in 1970. That was 50 years ago when we decided to, dedicate a day to planet Earth. What has changed in these 50 years? In 1970, our population was 3.7 billion, the global population. Our population has actually more than doubled. So our current population is 8 billion, correct? Now, let's look at the Earth's surface. Okay, out of the Earth's surface, 71% is water and 29% is land. Okay, now out of this 29% of land, 71% is habitable and 29% is uninhabitable. Okay, we live in the 71% of the habitable land. Now, from that 71% of habitable land, 50% of land goes for agriculture. Okay, 37% of the land is for forests, 11% is shrubs and everything, and only 1% is urban and built up land. That's where we live. Okay, so from 29% of the land, 71% which is habitable, out of that only 1% is urban and built up land. Okay, 50% is used for agriculture, 37% is used for forests. Okay, and 77% of the agricultural land that we have is used for animal feed production. Why? Are there more animals today than humans? Why are we using 77% of the land that we are using for agriculture for producing animal feed production? Let's look at this connection. Our actual population now of our planet is 8 billion people. Okay. And the problem is not human population, because human population is only living in 1% of that land. For this human population of 8 billion animals, 8 billion people, how many animals do we consume? How many animals are we raising to feed these 8 billion people? That for 8 billion people, we are growing 80 billion animals. 80 billion animals. Okay. And this is the, in 2020, the statistics. Okay. And I'm only talking about chicken, pigs, turkey, sheep, goats, cattle are slaughtered each year for meat. Okay. And this does not include animals used for dairy, fish, or egg production. So actually, the number is much higher than 80 billion. Now, look at the logic. 8 billion people are using only 1% of land. 80 billion animals need place to live and food to grow. Okay. So what are we doing? We're doing factory farming. It's called animal agriculture. Okay. And now, in order to give these animals a place to live, we have to cut down trees. In order to grow food for them, we have to cut down trees. Okay. So, and that is one of the biggest cause of deforestation that is happening, leading to all the other things, the greenhouse gas emissions, the climate change, and less of oxygen in the atmosphere. So this is what we are doing. Animal agriculture. We're growing animals. We have actually affected the balance of the planet. Okay. Now look at the biomass of the earth. Very interesting. Huh? We have 60%, okay, of people, of animals are there on the planet. 60%. 36% of humans, and 60 million tons, or 4% of wild animals, which is reducing. So we have more animals on this planet than humans. And look at the balance, the imbalance that has been created. And that's why Mother Earth is screaming for help, because if we do not indulge in animal agriculture, we would never have such a huge amount of animal population. Now, out of this 50% agriculture, 37% is for forests. The deforestation is happening, and it's happening so that we can accommodate these animals. Okay. Look at the Amazon. Look where it's. And the Amazon is our lungs, our planet's lungs. Look at what we're doing. If you have, if a part of your lung was affected in the human body, can you imagine what's going to happen to the human body? That's exactly what's happening to our planet. We're actually cutting down the lungs of our planet. And we are also living in a period of mass extinction. Okay. 75,000 animals a year. Number stands to 200 species a day, which are disappearing. That's why the wild animals was only 4%. And the story of animal cruelty is the same across the world, okay, whether it's dairy, meat, eggs, or fish. I mean, look at the energy in the planet. Like, even when you go to somebody's house, you can sense the energy. If there is a positive energy, you can sense the energy. If there is a negative energy of pain and stress, you can sense it. Imagine there are 80 billion plus animals in the world who are suffering from cruelty, who have fear, who are scared, who are in pain, who are mistreated badly. Can you imagine the cruelty and imagine the negative and the sad energy that our earth is being encompassed with? Maybe that is why stress is so common nowadays. Depression has become so common, so normal. Kids know about depression. We never used to use the word depression when we were growing up, but now depression is like normal. Kids are getting depressed because the environment, the energy in the environment itself is of sadness and fear and pain. Okay, so I'm not even getting into the painful practices that go on, because then that would be a whole another talk on compassion. But there is a lot of pain, because even if you cut your finger a little bit, can you imagine the pain? These guys are being slaughtered or being milked just for our pleasure. And we are also cutting down so many trees and actually affecting the planet as well. 3/4 of new infectious diseases originate in animals. So outbreaks are much, much more common. Okay. Let's look at water. We spoke about land. Let's look at water. Water covers about 71% of the Earth's surface, and just 0.5% of that 71% is available for fresh water, for us, for drinking, for growing crops. Now, waters and ocean absorb maximum heat and keep our atmosphere cool. But what is happening? All right. So much of the food that we are eating, so much of the water is going for the food that we eat. Can you see the amount of water you need to produce cheese and nuts and beef and poultry? And you can see how much water you need for fruits and vegetables just when you go below. If you see everything above, you know, from from eggs to cane sugar to milk, all have higher liters of water because these are not natural foods for us. But if we grow natural foods which are meant for us, then we do not require so much water. Okay. 70% of global fresh water from that 0.1% is used for agriculture. Okay. And 78% of global ocean and freshwater eutrophication is caused by agriculture. So what is happening? All the blood and everything, when we are slaughtering these animals, everything is just being dumped into the ocean. We are dumping plastic into the ocean, we're dumping garbage into the ocean, we're dumping feces into the ocean, everything. So the whole capacity of the water to cool us down is not there. Plus, there's more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So how can that ocean take up so much? Because it's not designed. We have actually created a imbalance in the situation. We're going overfishing as well, which is creating dead zones. Okay, there are dead zones where there is no oxygen in the water and the water is just dead. Nothing can grow in the water. This phenomena was not even there in the last 5 to 8 years. But now we have actually created dead zones across the planet. Okay, so if you want to save water, by just removing animal food from your plate, you can approximately save 3,500 liters of water per day. Okay, per day. And if you remove animal products altogether from your life, you can actually save millions of liters of water in a year. The feed which is meant for animals can be redirected to the 3 billion people who are suffering from starvation. But we rather feed those animals so that we can feed ourselves than give to our own species. That's where we have reached to. I found this very interesting. Grandfather saw it in the river, father saw it in the well, we saw it in the tap, children saw it in the bottle. Where will our grandchildren see it? Imagine if there's no water. In fact, they're saying the next world war will be because of water. And we are using 70% of the water which is available for us to grow food for these animals. And if we just use vegetables and go on a plant-based diet, we do not need to use so much water for agriculture, animal agriculture. Then what about air? So we spoke about land pollution, we spoke about water pollution. Even air is highly, highly polluted. In fact, more polluted because of animal agriculture. Methane, which is a greenhouse gas, which comes out from all cattle, okay, is 28 times higher than carbon dioxide, and it's breathed out by the cattle and the sheep, and it also comes in their feces. So it's because we are, producing so many cows, much more methane in the atmosphere, and that's why global warming has become a reality today. In fact, it's so much so that we don't know how the weather is going to be, whether monsoon is going to be monsoon or summer is going to be really warm. Everything is gone topsy and turvy. So we usually say global greenhouse gas, people blame it on global transportation, but it's actually 18% of the global greenhouse emission is from the food production, which is animal agriculture. Okay. We already know that the Earth's surface is going warm, glaciers are melting. They say Bombay is going to be the first city which is going to go underground. Don't know. We are facing extreme weather reports. Okay, sea levels are gone haywire. Okay, storms. I already spoke about that. All right. So human population is not the problem. Humans consuming animal products is the actual problem. Okay.
We are, all of you know it, on the edge of a climatic abyss.
Locations around the globe saw extreme heat, including one record in Kuwait of 129.
There's people in the water! Oh my God,
The primary driving force behind species extinction, behind water and air pollution, is this system of animal agriculture.
Animal agriculture.
Animal agriculture.
Animal agriculture.
Animal agriculture.
Studies show climate change and water shortages are directly linked to the amount of meat we consume.
We will not succeed until we stop animal agriculture.
Heart disease, prostate cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis. I knew at that point what caused most diseases.
Animal products.
Animal-based proteins.
Animal protein.
People that increase their consumption of plant-based foods, decrease their consumption of animal foods, actually have a survival advantage, actually live years longer than those that don't.
In the European Union alone, over half of its budget is used to subsidize livestock production.
Across Europe, 80% of direct payments go to just 20% of farmers.
When you really look at who's lobbied for this system of agriculture, it's the largest meat producers. They dictate the federal policies around producing food because they have so much power.
Government gives $30 billion to underwrite cheap meat, and they give no money to the vegetable industry.
Recent scientific research has discovered that farm animals are far from stupid. The nearest most of us come is in the supermarket. But do we know how intelligent and sensitive they are, and how the decisions we make every day directly affect their lives?
Well, tens of millions of Americans have switched their diet from meat-centered meals to ones rich in vegetables, grains, beans, and other plant-based foods. Not only is it a healthy lifestyle change, but it's also helping change our environmental footprint.
The number one thing that you can do
is to just stop eating meat.
Yeah, we're actually eating our way to extinction if we are not going to be changing soon. All right. So India, by the way, is the fourth largest beef exporter in the world. And that is because we're the highest consumer of dairy in the world. Okay. And what is milk? Milk is pure fat, high protein, and zero fiber. Okay. And when I'm talking about milk, I'm talking about milk, butter, cheese, curd, ghee, everything. Okay. So milk is totally full of pus and bacteria. Okay. It's full of cholesterol. That's why vegetarians and non-vegetarians get the same diseases, because milk and meat is actually the same. It's full of toxins which come from plastic, because the cows eat a lot of plastic, goes into the quality of milk and comes into our body. So there is high level of toxins. In fact, there was a study done where mother's milk had so much high level of toxin because mothers consume dairy and dairy products. It's got adrenaline, means a lot of stress, because the baby is taken away, the mother cow is raped to be pregnant, the baby is not allowed to drink the milk enough, the male calves are actually slaughtered. So there's immense cruelty that is part of the dairy industry. Also, when they're taking out the milk, they use these machines to take out the milk. So there's a lot of pain and stress. And I remember when we were feeding our babies, we were said, please don't be stressed, be happy when you're feeding, because your emotions also go into the milk and affect the child. So imagine what are the emotions the cow is feeling, and when we are consuming anything which contains milk, what are they feeling? Urea, everybody knows in India, we do not have refrigerated containers. So vans, so they put urea, which is a fertilizer, which is a part of our dairy milk, and loss of calcium. There is this big myth that that milk gives you calcium. In fact, milk leaches the calcium from your bones. That's why people who've been having milk all their life still get arthritis and osteoporosis, which is a bone degenerative disease, in spite of having milk. We need to start thinking about this. So no milk, how do I get my calcium? Well, the plant kingdom, Mother Nature is just outstanding. Everything she gives has calcium. Look at it, tofu, almonds, spinach, chickpeas, sesame seeds. In fact, every single food that you eat, which comes from Mother Nature, has protein. We don't need to worry about our protein and calcium, because Mother Nature has taken care of everything. Everybody knows about Baskin-Robbins, two brothers who started this empire. Their son, Robbins, had a son, John, who was going to take over the empire. And when John was 21-year-old, his chacha, which is Mr. Baskin, got heart disease. And he was a very curious 21-year-old, and he did all the research, and he found out that meat and milk cause disease and caused this. And then he realized, oh my God, we are feeding ice cream to the world. And he went and told his dad, I cannot be a part of this. His dad said, if you leave, I'll not give you a cent. That boy at the age of 21 left. And today he, along with his son, have started the Food Revolution Network. And they're doing exactly the same work that SHARAN is doing in India, to make people realize that we need to change what we are putting into our mouth. And this is what John says. Animals do not give their life to us, as the sugar-coated lie would have it. Cows do not give their milk to us. They struggle and fight to the last breath, just as we would if we were in their place. Okay. So where meat consumption is high, you can see that, look at the zones where we are having so much more meat. All right. This was taken in 2014. And now look at it in 2030, the way the growth of demand is happening. India is projected to be one of the largest growth areas for demand in poultry, beef, and eggs. Okay, so we really need to wake ourselves up, because we have the highest population on the planet today. And if we're not going to change our ways, then we're going to be having lots of problems. Okay, in fact, the UN also suggests that the plant-based diet can actually fight climate change, but they're not doing anything about it. They're just suggesting. It's us who have to do. The Indian government also is saying eat plant-based foods to fight climate change. But they're not going to do anything. We have to start changing. If we are not going to change, then by 2050, there'll be likely 9 billion people to feed, and our planet is already under stress. And agriculture is a leading threat. 50%, I told you, 70% of the agriculture is being used for animal agriculture. And as our climate changes, so will the ways we grow our food. So by making one choice of what we can eat, we actually stop water pollution, increase forest land, and have food for each and every being, and actually fight climate change. So not only are we healing ourselves, we are also healing the planet and the animals as well. You can see how much land does a vegan need, a vegetarian, and a meat eater. So the silver lining is, first, we must admit that climate change is everyone's problem and not leave it for the government to do anything about it. Understand that no agency, government, or scientist is going to fix it for us. And if everyone takes action by the year 2026, which is only 3 years away, we can actually save wildlife extinction and stop climate change. So simple. What do we have to actually do apart from what we are already doing to save planet Earth is to stop consuming animal products. And vegan are those who do not consume anything which comes from an animal, and it's super duper easy. If you love chicken, have jackfruit curry. It tastes exactly the same. Soy curry for mutton, yam curry for fish, soy kebabs, tofu omelets, tofu burjis. Nowadays, you get lots of variations of mock meats. You know, our basic Indian meal is vegan. If you learn how to make the curd, if you learn how to make the butter and the ghee and the cheese, everything can be veganized. Everything. And it's so super easy and so super delicious too. You can even have desserts, cakes, cookies. These are vegan. You know, now a lot of companies are going vegan, Baskin Robbins, Cadbury, Kit Kat. People are aware, people are understanding that we need to change now. Make vegan. Subway has come up with a plant-based patty. So Genelia and Ritesh Deshmukh have started Imagine Meats. They are also vegan for the planet. Blue Tribe, these guys are promoting it, Anushka and Virat Kohli.
A happier you, a happier planet. Blue Tribe plant-based meat. You can't tell the difference, but the planet can.
Actually, you can't tell the difference. I've had their products and it's just unbelievably vegan. Okay, and you feel you're actually having chicken nuggets. These were all vegans. All right. Some current ones. Vegan meal requests on Emirates flights have increased. In fact, I was just recently in Cambodia, Bangkok, so much vegan. From the last time when I went about 8 years ago, the awareness is by grace of God increasing, but the action needs to increase as well. So it's you who can make the change. It's you who decides, not someone else or any government. We got here because of our lifestyle, so our lifestyle has to change. All right. SHARAN is here to support you. We have over 500 recipes on our website, which are all alternatives and oil-free, sugar-free, dairy-free as well. Healthy. We are healthy vegans. We are there on, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have an amazing YouTube channel. We do lots of cooking classes, lots of workshops, lots of free sessions to help you to change your diet for your health, for the planet, and for the animals as well. All right. So let's start saving the planet one bite at a time. You can do it. We can do it together. Let's heal the planet. She needs us. It's time for us to give back. Right? Thank you so much for taking out time to understand what the planet needs. And really, we will not have a planet left for our children. They go, whoever are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, okay, we have lived our life. But what about our next generation? Let's wake up, guys. Let's do something. I'm ready for any questions that you might have. I did get one question from Madhumita. How about the food chain sustainable if everyone turns vegan? Will the plant-based diet serve everyone across the world? Absolutely. Because, Madhumita, whatever we are using to grow for these animals will be used to grow for humans. We're not going to increase the population of, we're not going to grow more animals. See, once the demand of animal-based products dies, they will stop manufacturing it. It's because the demand is there, they are manufacturing. It's a huge economy. It needs a shift in our consciousness. Why are the governments, UN knows that this is the thing, but why are they able to do anything? Because it's all about the money, honey. It's all about the money. They don't want to stop because they're making money. So we have to stop the demand. Then they will have no other option but to stop growing animals. So once we bring the balance back into check, absolutely, there is enough. Mother Nature is full of abundance. She's there to give us, subject we walk the path she's asking us to walk. And not like, I don't want to use the word, but we're raping her. We're just slaughtering her and we're not realizing it. And each and every one of us, even though we are not a part of it, will be affected. So it becomes our onus that we need to wake up people and tell them about it. And if anybody would like us to come and give this talk to any groups, online, offline, I'm basically in Bombay, but offline, if you want us to come and talk to colleges, corporates, groups, your women's kitties, wherever we want, we have to wake people up. And those who know have the responsibility to tell others as well. All right. Ansha is asking, is vegan food costly? Is it quite affordable? Absolutely. What is vegan? Actually, we don't need to have cheese and paneer and all these milks. But even if you want to have it, you can make the alternatives at home and they're very cheap. 1 cup of peanuts gives you 1 liter of peanut curd. 1 cup of almonds gives you 1 liter of almond curd. And you're not going to use it every day. You can make cheese with potatoes and carrots also. So trust me, it is not an expensive diet. It's a huge, huge myth. Trust me, it's been 10 years for me. I reversed my acidity. My parents' blood pressure, diabetes tablets have stopped. I lost 17 kilos of weight. But I have been blessed so much. I've seen so many blessings because I'm speaking for the animals and for the planet because they can't speak for themselves. So when you become their voice, oh my God, your life becomes a blessing. And I can vouch for it. And anybody here who's doing this will surely vouch for it. Please, definitely, we are ready to help you, to train you. I'm ready to give you this presentation if anybody wants it. Let's spread. It doesn't matter who does it as long as we spread this message. So either invite us to come and give a talk or do it yourself. We're ready to give you the, PowerPoint as well. Xenia, doesn't matter if the family doesn't join. When you know the truth, you start walking the path. And trust me, looking at you, they will. But you at least don't be a part of this any longer. Don't be a part of the cruelty. Okay? We all live on this planet. We all need to do this together. All right? Let's all become mediators for this change. And I'm so, so grateful to have such an amazing audience. And really, truly, we will be celebrating the World Environment Day just by making this change. And trust me, you will be taken care of. If you take care of Mother Earth, she will take care of you. Remember that. All right? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.